Hey, today we are going to continue the conversation about extraordinary Black girls who have made Black history. This is going to be part one of a two-part series about Sarah Rector. She was born in 1902 in Creek Indian Territory. Now, the Creek Indians are also known as Muskogee Indians. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I did a series about where I'm from last year. I grew up and was raised in Muskogee County and have some Creek Indian ancestry. And that's part of why I was drawn to Sarah Rector's story. Sarah's paternal great-great-grandmother was enslaved by a Creek Indian chief. Yes, you heard that correctly. Creek Indians were part of the 5 so-called civilized tribes. They were labeled this way because they accepted white social norms, which included Christianity, intermarriage with white people, written constitutions, and enslavement of Black people. When the federal government forced the Creek Indians west of the Mississippi, this chief took his slaves with him. Once Oklahoma was officially incorporated into a state, the government made a deal with members of the Creek Nation and handed out land allotments. And this was not only going to members of the Creek Nation, but also the descendants of their slaves. Sarah received approximately 160 acres of land. However, the way this was done was not fair. The primo land was given to white settlers who were coming into Oklahoma, and then the rough, rocky land that was less suitable for farming was given to people of color. And this is what Sarah received. Now, her parents, Joe and Rose Rector, had to pay a land tax, and this financially was cumbersome for them. So Joe attempted to sell the land. However, there was a law in place that the land could not be sold, especially if it belonged to a minor. This ended up being a lucky break. In order to try and make enough money to pay the tax, her father leased the land to an oil drilling company. And in 1913, oil was found on Sarah's land. And it started bringing in roughly $300 per day in royalties. That's about $8,000 a day in current money. So I'm going to stop here. And next week, I'm going to let you know how Sarah became the richest Black girl in America.